Object-oriented paradigm. Let's take a look at the evolution of programming paradigm. The first and earliest was monolithic programming paradigm. Monolithic programming is the act of creating an application or software that is comprised of a single tier. A good example of monolithic program would be the popular Office programs that give you various capabilities like word processing, creating presentations, and generating spreadsheets. The next form of programming evolved as procedural programming. This type of programming is to break down a programming task into a collection of variables, data structures, and subroutines. The programming further evolved as structured-oriented programming. Structured programming is a subset of procedural programming that enforces a logical structure on the program being written to make it more efficient and easier to understand. The present and most successful type of programming is object-oriented programming. We shall learn more about object-oriented programming, also known as OOPS, in this video course. Hello everyone, this is Aismant from skillsgrow.com. Object-oriented programming. Object-oriented programming is a way of solving complex problems by breaking them into simpler and smaller problems using objects. The elements of object-oriented programming are objects, classes, data encapsulation, inheritance, data abstraction, and polymorphism. All of these elements makes object-oriented programming a successful paradigm. Let's go through these elements in detail. Object. It is a basic unit of OOPS. Every object has a unique name. Object represents a particular instance of a class. We can create more than one object of a class. Every real-life entity is an object like table, bike, keyboard, and even a pen. Class is the template of an object that logically encapsulates data members and member functions into a single unit. A class is like a blueprint for an object. Classes are data types based on which objects are created. The variables inside class definition are called as data members, and the functions are called member functions. And data encapsulation. Data encapsulation combines data members and member functions into a single unit that is called a class. The advantage of encapsulation is that data cannot be accessed directly. It is only accessible through the member functions of the class. Inheritance. It is the process of creating new class from the existing class or base class. By using the concept of inheritance, we can use the implemented or existing features of a class into another class. Base class is also known as parent class or superclass. The new class that is formed is called derived class. The derived class is also known as sub or child class. Inheritance is basically used for reducing the overall code size of the program. Data abstraction. It is the process of hiding irrelevant details from the user. It also specifies the hiding of implementation details for simplicity. The power of programming language is increased by creating user-defined data types. And the last but not least, polymorphism. Polymorphism is a feature using which an object behaves differently in different situations. Function overloading and operator overloading are examples of polymorphism. In function overloading, we can have more than one function with same name but different number, type, or sequence of arguments. It refers to a single function or multifunctioning operators in different ways. Polymorphism specifies the ability to assume several forms. Now we have got the basic idea. Now let's look at the uses of OOPS, that is object-oriented programming. It helps in modeling the real-world problems as close as possible. We can easily interact with computational environment. The software components can be reusable, and the libraries can be easily extended. Easy modification and extended implementation. Here are the differences between structured and object-oriented programming. The structured-oriented programming depends on the functions, and the object-oriented depends on the classes and objects. Structured is a procedural abstraction and the OOPS is a procedural and data abstraction programming. Structure does not support external interface, whereas OOPS supports external interface. Free flow of data takes place in structured. The data is secured and does not flow freely in object-oriented programming. Structured is also known as functional-oriented programming. Object-oriented programming is also known as OOPS. Thank you for watching the video and stay tuned for more content from us.